Nigeria has yet again advanced in democracy with the inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the 16th President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The seamless transfer of power from former President Buhari to President Tinubu on May 29, 2023 was Nigeria's 7th consecutive civilian transition, bringing us to 24 years of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria and still counting since 1999. The 2023 transition was coordinated by the Presidential Transition Council established by former President Muhammadu Buhari. The smooth transfer of power earned Nigeria the admiration of world leaders who converged on the Eagle Square, Abuja, to bask in the euphoria of Nigeria's advancement in democracy. Now, how has the nation fared in 24 years of democratic journey? We shall bring you the views and reviews on this episode of 30 Minutes on the NTA. I am Mitaire Ikpen. Many thanks for joining us. Everyone agrees that Nigeria's democracy has been work in progress, and one thing that stands out so far is peaceful transfer of power, irrespective of the outcome of elections. Abdusalam Jubril in our first report tells us how the journey has been for Nigeria and what Nigerians can point to as the gains of democracy.
I, Olusegun Obasanjo, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
President Olusegun Obasanjo taking the oath of office in 1999 after the military government of General Abdulsalami Abubakar supervised a transition to democratic rule via elections. Before handing over power in 1999, the military held sway from 1966 to 1999 with an interregnum from 1979 to 1983. The end of military rule brought about a new era of regular elections as well as civil liberties, freedom of the press, independent judiciary, the rule of law, checks and balances, and the end or drastic reduction of arbitrary arrest and torture associated with the military era. It has been 24 years of uninterrupted democratic governance, and to many Nigerians, democracy has been the best form of government in providing freedom for the majority. They maintain that several gains have been recorded, which include freedom of speech and democratic elections, among other values that were previously absent.
Educationally, during that time of experience, we have opened more universities, more college of educations, we have employed more teachers, we improve the salaries of the ASU according to the demands and others. Infrastructural development, when we open the schools, we generate more income, more students, more education, more pupils, more students are coming and more graduates. This aspect of education has achieved a lot of. Secondly, when we look at health aspect too, there are policies whereby we have opened more hospitals, teaching hospitals, state hospitals, and others. So this aspect of education too, it has already improved more. So if you can remember, just recently, I think few days ago, it has launched one of the best presidential VIP presidential in Villa.
So we have done seriously wonderful in terms of infrastructures. You can even see we inherited Kano, Abuja, Kaduna, Kano, and the job is ongoing. Kano, Jigawa, Meduguri, almost done. So if you go to the south, there's something. We should thank God for him to allow us to have a peaceful democracy from 1999 till date. This is something of somebody can beat his chest and say that Nigeria has gone far.
Going down memory lane, Nigeria has had 5 democratically elected presidents in our 24-year history since 1999, Olusegun Obasanjo was elected in 1999 and 2003 for two four-year tenures totaling 8 years. He was succeeded by Umaru Musa Yar'Adua in 2007. However, when Yar'Adua died in office in 2010, his four-year term was completed by Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who was then elected on a fresh mandate in 2011. By 2015, something unprecedented in Africa happened. After the presidential elections, President Muhammadu Buhari emerged victorious and was sworn into office despite running in the platform of an opposition party. Buhari got re-elected in 2019 and completed two four-year tenures of 8 years. 2023 general elections produced Bola Ahmed Tinubu as winner, and a seamless transition process led to his inauguration as the 16th president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. With President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's inauguration on May 29, 2023, many political analysts note that Nigeria's democracy has come of age with more grounds to conquer.
We must congratulate all Nigerians for this peaceful, successive transition to various democratic governments. We, for example, in the National Assembly, we are particularly grateful because whenever there's any military takeover, it's the National Assembly that is the victim. The judiciary states they don't tamper with the judiciary. Judges operate, even if not according to their wishes, at least the judiciary remains intact. The same thing, executive functions are carried out by the military. It's the national and state assemblies that get suspended, and the sections of the Constitution dealing with powers of national and state assemblies are suspended. So for that feat, I'm congratulating Nigerians, and that because of this uninterrupted democracy, whatever you say, a lot of progress have been made.
Nigeria has really advanced. Nigeria has really developed. Nigeria is still evolving. And democracy, as far as we know it, remains the best system of governance in the world, on the known earth for now. We have really tried a whole lot from 1999 into the other one without any military truncating our democracy. It shows that yes, someday we will get to that area, to that extent where we can be sure that all the paraphernalias of democratic consciousness will be carried out to its ultimate conclusion in our dear country.
As things stand, some political analysts insist that it is beginning to look like most Nigerians have accepted democracy as the best option of governance in the country. The popular saying by former American President Abraham Lincoln that democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people certainly resonates with Nigeria's democratic journey, according to experts. They maintain that although the journey is still bumpy, there is hope that it will get better as it progresses.
This has shown the maturity we have gained over these years, that we allow the rule of law to govern us, and we try to avoid any anarchy. Once a result is declared, those who lose, there is process for them to seek for redress in the court of law instead of taking law into their hands. This is a great progress that was achieved through this democratic governance.
Democracy is very good because people come out to speak and speak out their mind, and implementation of Free Information Act, and so many other things. And in the other aspect of it, we have achieved a lot in aspect of democracy, but we still need to do more.
The worst democracy is still the very best, a lot better than the best military regime. But I would say that it's work in progress. Except that things became a bit very bad at some point. But I think slowly we're coming on, and I hope that maybe the next couple of years too will help further bring us from the woods.
While the country's democracy over the years has given rise to the periodic election of leaders into various offices and the smooth transfer of power to democratically elected leaders at the national and subnational levels, analysts list gains to include increase in welfare services, upward review of minimum wage, improved infrastructural development, youth empowerment, and so on.
Other aspect of economic infrastructure, we have seen we have opened more railways, more roads have been built up. From that time today, more roads have been built up. Look at it today. I'm so happy that we have opened our second major bridge, which they have opened it for the southeast. In fact, it's a great achievement because it will boost more economic. Ajakuta Steel Company. And just a few days ago, Dangote, one of the energetic projects, which is, it's one of the biggest, they said, one of the biggest projects in the world.
Now we have stable power of minimum of 5,000 megawatts, and in the next few months, when the infrastructure for distribution by CMES is achieved, it will go up to 7,000 megawatts. And also from the projection by the operators, there are assurance that when the gas pipeline coming from Niger Delta through Abuja to Kaduna and Kano, commonly referred to as AKK, is completed, there will be power plants that will be constructed in Abuja, Kaduna and Kano, which will now bring the total generation to 12,500 megawatts. That will be able to power the needs of our homes and even our industries across the country.
Some analysts say there is the urgent need for government and the populace to embrace peace, deliberate dialogue, and tolerance to douse the threatening issues of insecurity and hardship bedeviling the nation.
Of course, Abdul Salam, the present administration, has the task of managing Nigeria's diversity and addressing the multifaceted challenges facing the nation. And talking about challenges, the evolution of Nigeria's democracy in the last 24 years has not been a walk in the park. Daniel Aderie, in our next report, highlights some of the challenges Nigeria still grapples with in her democratic journey and how these challenges can be surmounted.
Democracy is mostly defined as a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. This is the story of the Nigerian state for the last 24 years. From 1999 till date, Nigeria has experienced seamless transitions from one democratic dispensation to another, including the recent inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the 16th president of the country.
I, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
Everything good comes with its challenges, and while democratic transitions may have been seamless for the last 24 years, some would argue that development has not been as seamless, but rather slow and laid back, especially in the grassroots.
You see that if it is in those days, what people do is to go to the street and start burning houses. People move to courts. That is to tell you Nigerians have come to believe and to accept the democratic norm. They are no more going to the street. They are no more violent about it. They now know we can seek redress from the court. Issue of indigenous settler is what is another problem of our democratic process. It's time that we do away with the issue of indigenous settler. Who is settler and who is indigenous? If I can take my bag, get to US, get to UK, after 6 months in US, I can be voted for. Why will your great-grandparents grow up somewhere and they say it's not an indigenous? When you want to contest the election, they tell you to go to your mother's village or to your father's village. Do they know you, your father's village, or your great-grandfather's parent? The answer is no. It's another big threat to democratic process in Nigeria. We must be able to now talk of citizenship.
The Nigerian state has thrived in leaps and bounds in propagation of democratic ideals over the years. There are, however, aspects of governance that political experts consider as drawbacks. One of them is the cost of governance, which makes politicians larger than life and adopt a win-at-all-cost mentality.
I don't think by camera legislation it will help us. If it is too expensive, probably we look at, do we look at National Assembly that has both chambers to be ad hoc? If it's not going to be ad hoc, do we now look at the expenses? How do we cope? Because that's what the cankerworm that could derail the democratic space. Because we wake up one morning and we not have money to pay our legislatures and will not be able to pay salary.
Political analysts advocate a calm and robust economic climate. This, they say, in more ways than one, promotes tolerance amongst different ethnic groups.
An Igbo man who is in Kano, who inherited his great-grandfather businesses, is afraid that, and then an Hausa man that is in Abakaliki is also afraid that, if I invested, he has inherited his great-grandfather in Abakaliki, and today he cannot even stay in Abakaliki. He has to, when during election, they have to join trailers, full trailer, and come back to Kano. It's a big threat to the unity and democratic space of the process of the country.
A recurring challenge in Nigeria's democracy is a perceived lack of devolution of powers amongst the three tiers of government. Greater financial and political autonomy is being canvassed for the local governments in the country.
The 1976 election review of the local government system was intended, and is intended, that people should, the local government system should be the basis for the development of human capital that will be fed into the state structure and eventually to the federal structure, and gave so much responsibilities to the local government. Practically all the schedules of engagement, of the execution of activities that bother on the daily lives of the Nigerians is scheduled to the local government to do. The state is largely supervisory, but today you have the reverse. The governor of a state wants to collect revenue in a local market. The state government wants to construct a culvert. The state government wants to build primary schools, when the state is the money of the local government that is used to pay for the teachers. So the system has not, the operators of the system have refused to follow the intent, the spirit behind the emplacement of the document that we call our constitution today. And so you have found out that once a building has no foundation, the likelihood is that everybody will give it its own meaning as he feels about it.
Analysts believe local government autonomy will reduce the burden on the federal government as well as the scramble for power at the center.
Nigeria as a country is a mechanical state. The most organic structure that we have, that people know themselves, know their value, interface, intermarry among themselves and feel that they are one, is the local government. Largely, 99% of local government councils in this country is made up of people who know themselves from origin. So you can see them as a structure that could maintain law, would fish out thieves, would fish out visitors, would fish out troublemakers, and handle it as it were before the creation of the country. But to that extent, the state governors have become like the predators that have refused the local government system to find its footing and build democracy from there, so that people can grow into the state and then give the state the true structure and strength and capacity to discharge its responsibilities in a manner that will have benefited, and giving everybody a room to show his talent, show his capacity and interest in all facets of our development.
The strength and growth of any nation lie in the effective management of its human and natural resources. For Nigeria to regain and retain her pride of place in the League of Nations, experts urge the new administration to make haste to restore the confidence of the youth in democratic ideals and in their country.
The youth of this nation have been neglected for a long time. As soon as election is over like this, we are off in the window. We believe for the economy to move forward, for us to make progress, the administration needs to bring youth on board. And we are so glad that now we have a president who is youth-friendly. Now we have a president who is going to get youth on board. And there's a reason why we supported him, and this is that reason. We know that he's going to carry the youth along. And in this time, Nigeria will begin to feel the effect of this president and of his truth. People like us will be excited that we supported Asiwaju, who is now the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
His recognition of youth and women being part of the administration, his focus on fighting insecurity, corruption, and all the lack of the essentials we need, healthcare, education, and additional infrastructure. He was very focused and united in his approach to Nigeria. We need unity. We have gone through a lot in the political elections. Now it's over. Now it's the Nigerian project, and we must all come together and be Nigerians and act as Nigerians, not only for our own sake, for the sake of children and children's children and future generations.
We are not there yet, but there's some level of signs to show that everybody is towing suit to see that we promote this country. We have no other country, but this is the other country we have. And there is no leadership, I think, that brings struggle and bring divisions among people. And when we are able to go from one transition to one another transition, show that level that in the future our children will have a better structure that we have already built in place that they will now take to make life more easier.
And there is a need for us to translate our heterogeneity into strength, to coalesce into a single force and translate our heterogeneity into a strength with a view to moving the Nigerian project forward, and to move the development of Nigeria in leaps and bounds in the years to come.
Democracy is not a place, neither is it a destination. Rather, it is a continuum which is hoped to evolve and get better from decade to decade and generation to generation.
That's right, Daniel. Democracy is a pathway to peace and progress, and many Nigerians expect the Tinubu administration to promote inclusivity, strengthen the economy, address security challenges, empower the youth and women, as well as bridge perceived divisions to foster unity and development in the country. Everyone agrees also that as a nation, we may not be where we want to be, but we are certainly not where we used to be, as we have advanced in our democratic journey and values. On that note, we conclude the program for today. We shall bring you another episode of Interest next week. I am Mitaire Ikpen. Thanks for watching.